motivated. We all need a little motivation. Money keeping her motivated. We all need a little motivation. Money keeping me motivated. We all need a little motivation. Money keeping her motivated. We all need a little motivation. Keep all the real niggas motivated. Keep all them little niggas motivated. Maybach 600, it drove her crazy. Sure they gon' do it, she motivated. I've been neglecting the rover lately. I've been neglecting the sober lately.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Smooth Podcast, episode 10. Here to the left of me, I have Kristin Smith. She is owner of Cintiq, which she's going to explain in a little bit. I first just wanted to give a big thanks to everyone out there. This is, 10 episodes, pretty big deal to me. I've been appreciative of all the support I've been getting and all of the feedback. And, I plan to do, this podcast for a long time coming. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. Now, to the left of me, like I said, Kristin Smith. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good. So I've known Kristin for probably about 10 years. Really cool people. I want her to kind of tell her story and where she's at today. And, I want to really use this platform to also shine light on women empowerment, women in business. So this is a great opportunity for both of us, really. So, Kristin, where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Providence, Rhode Island, and I still live there to this day.
Okay. And what high school did you go to?
I went to classical for my first 3 years, and then my last year I had to transfer to E3.
Okay.
But yeah, I rep classical, definitely.
Rep classical. Okay, very cool. And, the main reason why I have you here is because you have such a unique business. But when did you decide to come up with this business? And if you want to tell the viewership what the business is, it's very unique.
Thank you. So I own Cintiq. It's a candle bar and fragrance studio. So essentially, it's kind of like a wine and paint vibe. Mm-hmm. But obviously, instead of paint, you make a candle. You go in, you pick the scent you like, you pick which color vessel you want to use, and then from there, it's just like pretty much science. You mix, it has to be a certain amount of fragrance, a certain amount of wax. Mm-hmm. And then I also use this space as an event space, so if you want to rent it out, I've had baby showers there, bridal parties. I get a lot of girls' nights and date nights. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But where I came up with the idea, I wanted to open up a business for years. And I had probably 100 ideas in my head, in my planners, and it's just like I never knew which lane was mine.
Right.
In a sense.
Right. And,
you have the clubs and, it's like I wanted to open up a club, and I'm like, that's not really my lane. I enjoy going out. It's fun, but for me, I needed something else. And so I kind of just did my research. I'm like, businesses that are easy to start up and won't take too much capital, but at the same time, you can see a big return.
Right.
And so I came across a candle bar, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I've never heard of it. Obviously, I heard of wine, like wine and paint, but never the candle aspect of it. And I obviously haven't seen it out here in Rhode Island or even in Massachusetts. And so I was like, that's it. And so I just focused on that for probably about a year or so. I had my business, my EIN. I had all of that for about a year, but I didn't actually open up the business.
Wow.
And a lot of that was just fear.
Yeah.
Why I didn't. But yeah, so that's pretty much.
So I want to give a quick shout out to Cintiq because they brought me this beautiful candle. It smells amazing.
Yeah, and we
ahead.
Also don't make candles.
They do not make candles.
You make it yourself. That's the experience, but we had to make one for you. So.
I plan on changing. I'm going to have my own candle there that they're going to have to sell because I think it's a great way to
We'll do a signature collection.
Yeah, and the T-shirt as well. This is a great T-shirt. So
yes,
thank you for bringing both.
You're welcome.
Okay, so did you see somebody else maybe in Atlanta or Houston that had something similar, or did the full idea just kind of come naturally?
No, so what I actually saw was in Miami. So in doing my research, I saw in Miami, it's called Candleland Miami. I don't know if I should say that, but so that's where I got the inspiration from. And I actually didn't visit Candleland until I was about 6 months already opened myself. And when I did go there, I was like, I'm doing good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
I had the idea from them, the inspiration, but I didn't know exactly their model or
Right.
their business. Like, I didn't know how they ran it. And so going there to see it, I was like, okay, like, I'm doing pretty well.
And how important was that trip to you to kind of see firsthand how everything was going to, you know, a business that you kind of, I guess, looked up to it at that point?
It was really important, actually. It took me a while to get out there just because I did just open the business, so I couldn't travel like I'm used to traveling.
Right.
But it was really important because I feel like in life, like, there has to be some type of, I wouldn't call them my competition, but there has to be some type of goal or some type of like formula to follow in a sense.
100%,
And so in Providence, there was nothing like that for me to go and say like, oh, I wonder how they do this, or
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So it was really important for me to go out there and see like, okay, like, or even just take notes or see things that I can change, things that I could take and apply to my business.
Right.
So it was really important.
Right. So on that note, when you said, you know, there's nothing like it in Rhode Island and things of that nature, a lot of the things I do, whether it be like the type of events or, you know, this podcast specifically, you know, I always think to myself, wow, like nobody's kind of doing it the way I'm doing it.
Right.
Now, how do you view that? Do you view that as a positive? Do you view that as a negative? Because I think that's where a lot of the hesitancy comes, because there's nothing already in place to show if it works or not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, that's exactly why I was like, I need to go see how this works. But I would say, I think it's a positive. I wouldn't call it a negative. There is some hesitancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good.
That's a tough one. Just because I have people call sometimes and they're like, well, can you explain it more? And I'm like, in my head, it's pretty simple, like, but I guess to some people, because it's not here, so I do have to explain that more, and I do have to say like, oh, like, definitely come in and try it out, like,
Right.
because it is fun. Like, I'm not just saying that because it's something fun to do, something different to do, and that's really why I wanted to bring it here.
Yeah. I was looking on the website before I came here, and I think like even the price point is like amazing. I'm actually surprised that, you know, you're not charging more. So for everyone out there, take advantage while the price is still the price, because I was like,
fair.
it's very fair. And honestly, for the guys out there who might think, oh, like, why do I want to go there? One, it's a great gift idea. So if you customize, you know, a candle for a woman, I feel like she'd cherish that, right?
Right.
Second thing is, it's an easy date night idea. You know, if you're like me and you've been with your significant other for quite some time, you run out of ideas to do, right?
Yeah. So anytime a guy books and we see like a male name, I'm like, oh, this is a date night. So we try to make it like cute for them. Like,
that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And now, what are some things that kind of popped up during this whole business career that you didn't expect, that kind of came left field?
Honestly, I would say support. So one of the things that was stopping me from even putting my foot out and doing this in the first place, or any business idea I had, was, are people gonna support? Are people gonna like this? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's coming from such a small city. That's big. Even though it shouldn't be on my mind or on my heart, it is just a part of life. And so I would say like a lot that came with that was, I didn't get support from people that I thought I was going to get support from. Plain and simple. Like, I have family members that have not came to my store yet. And I've been open for almost a year. So that is tough because you have to really just be, I mean, it's life. I don't blame nobody for it. I don't look at you differently. But not having support from certain people is just eye-opening as an entrepreneur, because that's really what entrepreneurship is about. Like, you have to be your own cheerleader.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
Like, you cannot rely on that from anyone.
100%.
Even people that you would think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
And something also that I like to think about is that, you know, there's so many things out there, so many businesses out there that I might really love the person that, say, is making the green tea, right? But like, if I really don't like green tea, like, I'm probably not gonna support the business.
Makes sense too.
So, you know, as entrepreneurs, we're definitely like, oh, who's supporting, who's not supporting.
Right.
But I think it's also like good to know that like just because you mess with something heavy doesn't mean like everybody's gonna mess with it the same.
Exactly.
And me in the nightlife business and things of that nature, that goes like hand in hand, because I feel like lately it's been like the cool thing to kind of like, oh, like I'm gonna go ghost or I'm gonna not be outside
Right.
and stuff like that. So like if I took it as like, oh, people aren't supporting me like every
Exactly.
week, like
But
I would drive myself crazy.
That's something
you know?
you had to learn, like
100%.
So yeah, along the line, you're like, I mean, it literally comes with it, and so that was one big thing.
Yeah. So, is there any significant people that like came by that you were like shocked, like whether they be from out of state or any like, you know, anyone that is like, you know, famous or anything of that nature?
Not necessarily. I've had a lot of people, politically, I guess, come by and just show their support, like when I opened up.
Right.
So that meant a lot.
So on that note, I saw Bob DeSilva, like he did like the ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
So Bob DeSilva is the mayor of East Providence, and that's where I'm born and raised. And so that was a huge deal to me, because it just like was like the official stamp that like the city is welcoming this new business, and you know, being a black woman at that, like I just felt like that was a huge deal.
It was, and I think to go on that support, like I got a lot of support from people that I didn't know, and from so many strangers, you know what I'm saying? Even from him posting that Facebook post. So it works out. Like the support you don't get, I have probably like 800 customers that come in so far, and more than half of them I've never seen in my life. So,
and on that note, you know, it kind of brings me back to the local support too. I've learned that those people are actually the most important people, because those people confirm that your idea was good.
Right.
The people that don't know you, right? Sometimes support and like, you know, the people around you, they could be supporting just because they like you and not the product. So
exactly.
I actually value the people I don't know. I don't want to say more, but just as, you know,
I
the
agree.
people that
that's
I do
something
know.
I had to learn. It's like, I don't know this person, but they like it, and so that means a lot.
And now moving into the business space, like were there any like stigmas that you were trying to shake, or kind of maybe some labels that were put on you that you were trying to like show that you weren't that and that you were like more than that?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm still very much trying to prove myself in that sense. Not that I have to prove myself to anybody, but yeah, there's a lot of, I guess, labels that you could say, just who I've dealt with or who's in my support system. And that's not, I don't think that's a bad thing, but some people think because of it, what I have is not validated, or, you know what I'm saying? And that's fine, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job of trying to break free from those stigmas and just be my own person, honestly. Because I feel like I've always been my own person. You've known me for, like you said, 10 plus years, and I've always kind of been in my own lane, but I never knew what that lane was until recently. So.
Right. No, and I definitely commend you for that. I do feel like, you know, there are some people that could be in your position that kind of just lay low and don't do much, and you like want to.
I did that for a while. I knew I was a great mom, but that's all I felt like I was for a while. So I really had to find my purpose aside from being a mom, and you know what I'm saying. So I think I finally found that. So.
And you know, we were talking a little bit before, and I'll bring it to the podcast now. What are the future businesses that you are planning on, or do you want to let the cats out the bag just yet?
Well, there's two. I'll share. No, I don't want to share it right now. I'm sorry.
What field are they in?
Health.
Health field.
Health,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
I'm very big on not sharing things until they're set in stone.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I currently I have just like a ton of things that are gonna happen 2 months from now, 5 months from now, a year from now, that I've been keeping kind of bundled up. Just because, like you said, sometimes when you let the cat out the bag, it ruins it. Like something totally left field just comes out of nowhere. You're like, what the, you know?
So soon though, soon.
who kind of like makes out of all of your customers, who have you noticed anyone making a specific type of candle that you're like, wow, they really have a talent for this? Like whether it be like college kids, whether it be date night, like who would you say makes the best candles?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say girls' night.
Girls' night.
So I get a lot of like girls' nights, and they like to drink. So I think once they get a little liquor in, they get real creative. And sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna make one like that too. Like they mix the scents, and I'm like, I like that. So I would say like girls' night, I guess. But then date nights are fun too. It's kind of the same vibe. You get creative, and that's what I love about the business is that it's creative. You come in and whatever you like, that's what you make. It's up to you. That's why I always tell people, it's up to you. If you want to mix it, it's up to you. Like
right. Now when Drake was sending candles to everyone, were you like, man, that's a great marketing idea? Like I should have thought of that first.
Actually, no. When did he do that?
So I don't know if anyone else remembers that,
I don't
but
remember
he was
that.
sending like tons of candles out to
I
everyone.
actually don't remember that.
Yeah, I'll show you later. It's
Well, maybe I should do that too.
But just like sending people like, hey, I thought you would like this scent. Like
that's actually a good idea.
The whole candle business, it's in my opinion, $1 million, $1 billion business because one, who doesn't like things that smell good?
Right.
Two, it's such a generous act if you give someone something like.
True.
You know,
and it's customizable, so you can make it different for anyone.
And it's not necessarily a trend, right? Like how long have candles been around for?
Centuries.
So like you don't have to worry about it not being in style.
That's really true.
So
I'm gonna have to. Do that.
And now, when it comes to the business side, what can you tell the viewership out there about costs, about profit, paying yourself? That's something that I'm working on now as like having an LLC is like finding out like the perfect balance between what you keep in the company and what you pay yourself.
Right.
What can you tell the viewership about like handling that and even just being new to that, maybe making some mistakes with that?
Yeah, so I did make a couple mistakes in the beginning. I'm kind of learning as I go. Honestly, this is my first business. But I would definitely say make sure all your money is accounted for. So even if that means like getting an actual accountant, like which I think every business should.
Right.
Definitely do that. I guess what you pay yourself kind of depends on how many employees you have and stuff like that, which right now it's just 2 of us. So we're kind of good in that sense. But I think my next goal is to build a team so that I don't have to really be there as much and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that is my next goal. I would say build a team that you trust for sure. And then I guess like another aspect of it is like marketing. That's huge and something that I'm really trying to get better with.
Yeah, like I said before, I thought, you know, the TikToks I saw before, I mean, I even saw like, I felt like I saw random people kind of like, oh, I've been to this place in East Province called Cintiq and like do like cute little TikToks
So
with that.
I will say like we get so many people and they're like, I seen you on TikTok, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, yeah.
So TikTok is huge. If you don't have a TikTok for your business, definitely do that.
Right.
It gets the word around for sure, especially in such a small area.
Right. And now, are you willing to are you open to collabs? Like, say if somebody wanted, I know you guys don't sell candles, but if somebody wanted like customizable candles for a certain event of theirs, or you know, what's your take? Is that something you guys are gonna work on in the future? Like, what's your look on that?
So I've been thinking about it honestly, and I think just to be able to have something online just to sell, definitely. But as far as in person, I really enjoy the experience of it all, and I want that to be what people get from it, more than just coming in and buying something. Like, I want you to come in, I want you to take pictures and post them on Instagram and, you know, get that experience.
Yeah, so something that I actually might steal from you, and I'm going to openly say I'm going to steal it from you, is that on the website, when you're looking to book, it says the experience. Yeah. Like, it's an experience. That's a way better, like, as a, you know, consumer, you feel like you're going to get way more out of it than say, like, you know, book this time period. It's like, ugh. You know what I mean? But you phrasing it as experience, that's like, I was like, wow, that's like Great
Thank
wording.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's probably my favorite part about it is that some people they leave and they're like, we had so much fun. Like this was such a fun thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And now, do you see it being open in other cities as well, other states?
Yeah. So actually, I was watching Real Housewives the other day, and they were actually there. You know how they do their little dates and stuff. So I saw it, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. So that's in Atlanta. So I have seen in different cities, but I haven't seen anything around here.
Yeah.
I get people even coming from Hartford, Connecticut sometimes, taking that drive.
So I think that also taps into what you said before about marketing. Like right now, I feel like content rules the world. It doesn't matter if like 5 people like it, if 1,000 people like it. As long as you're like putting stuff out there continuously, you're gonna end up winning, right?
Yeah.
So on the marketing side, like, do you think you're gonna hire someone? Are you gonna do it all in house? Like, what's your thoughts on it?
I think my next step is to definitely hire someone. I think like right now, like it's fine doing good, but I don't want it to just do good. I want it to be blown out. Like, you know what I'm saying? 100%. So I think for me, hiring someone that's what they do is gonna be what I need. Yeah.
I for my promotional company, a lot of stuff I do is marketing, and I'm even thinking about hiring someone for the marketing stuff because when you get to like doing 3 events a week and like a couple big events like my RM brunch and stuff like that, it's just like every day I have to remind myself, post this, cut this. And then when I'm sitting there on TikTok trying to match the song up with it, it's like
it's hard. It is.
Unless you're like really into it, like
you can't do it all.
I prefer just like viewing TikTok. I don't prefer like actually cutting and doing.
And so I'm actually good at making the TikToks, but it's just I can't record everything and then make the video. It's so much, and so I think definitely to take your business to the next level, those things like a marketing team and an accountant, like they're vital, literally. So
yeah, I agree. Something also, and I'm sorry for imputing myself so much in this conversation, but something else that like I want to put in there is like understanding that, say if you make $100, what you're gonna actually pocket is probably $5 to $10, and being okay with that.
Right. That's the part of being an entrepreneur that you don't really think about until it happens. You think, I have all this time and I make my own schedule and this and that, but it's not going to pay off at first for sure, but eventually it will. And you'll get to a point where you're like, okay, I can either keep this going or I'm comfortable, and I'm at the point where I want to keep it going. So
with candles, do you see in the fall, winter time, a uptick in sales, or is it pretty, straightforward with like the seasons? I would think that like the fall and winter time, more people would come in and do their candles and want to be inside on a date night. But
right, yeah. So this was actually one of the I guess things I had to get through was summertime was not as good as I thought it was going to be.
Right.
So I seen a
specifically summertime with no PPP loans.
Oh, well, that, and also summertime in Rhode Island, like you want to be outside, and I understand that. So it wasn't as busy as the fall and the winter was, but I expected it. But at the same time, that's where I came when I was like, I need to start maybe make the candles and sell them online just to have something else coming in. Because it wasn't as busy as it was. So that was definitely kind of a trying time, I guess I could say, because I was like, is this it? Or
Right.
But no, it's starting to pick back up now that it's fall. Definitely.
Now, question, and I want you to be as honest as possible. If you and your partner were doing this and you guys were paying the bills, paying for the materials, and the profit was minimal, would you continue to do it, or would you say we need to find something else to do?
I would continue to do it, and I would also find something else to do at the same time. I would say that because I know when I first opened, the numbers that I did, I was blown away. In my first month, I was like, but that's what comes with being an entrepreneur. You don't know. Next month could be totally different. And that's just something you have to keep going with, or you won't see the full potential of the idea. The idea already came to life. So now it's on me to keep it alive. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely keep it going, but if I need to do something else too, I'll try to do that too.
And your specific location, what can you say about the actual place where it's at?
I love it. I never thought I would open a business in East Providence. I'm from Providence, born and raised, and I looked everywhere in Providence for a location, mostly downtown. And I think the biggest thing for me and for my potential customers was parking. Downtown, there's not many places to park,
Right?
Especially in the wintertime.
Right.
Who wants to be climbing over snowbanks and stuff like that? So that was big, and also the rent was double the price. So I just happened to drive by Taunton Ave, and I seen the sign, and I was like, let me call real quick. And I was comfortable with the price, and I was like, I'll take it.
How much renovation did you have to do, or was it a new kind of building already?
So it was a vanilla box, I guess you could call
Vanilla
it.
box.
It was white walls and concrete floor.
Yeah.
And so everything I did. The floors, it was pricey, but it was worth it. I've seen the return already. And I'm comfortable with it. I'm happy with it. I'm still making changes. In the process of getting the liquor license.
That would be crazy.
So that's gonna that's gonna change it a lot. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, no, that would be crazy. I might have to do an event or two there.
Yeah, definitely. So
is there anything that you can say to someone who is looking to do a business and, you know, had the same hesitancy that you had before? Like, oh, are people going to support it or not? Like, what would you realistically tell people, right? Like, do they have to have, you know, a proof kind of in Miami, in Atlanta, that their idea will work? If their idea is so out the ordinary that there's none around, should they still go for it? Like, what would you tell people that like really have a good idea, really have the funding? What would you tell people like before they get started?
I would say go for it no matter what, because my biggest regret, and not really a regret, but once I finally stepped out on faith and was like, just do it. I wish I did it a year ago.
A while ago, yeah.
Because there was nothing in between me and this other than my fear. So if that's what's stopping you or that's what's making you hesitant, just do it. Even if it doesn't work out, who's to say, like, you tried?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Something to add to that, I also think that, you know, a lot of people are scared that, like, you know, whatever kind of business that they do, that, you know, the worst possible thing is what? They fail publicly. Right. Not only do they fail, but, like, everyone around them knows that
everyone
they
knows,
failed.
yeah.
However, I feel like to the high level individuals, we kind of all understand that it takes guts and it takes you kind of putting your pride aside and like really like trying to like dig down and try something new, that even if you fail, we'll kind of give you that head nod like, hey, like at least you gave it a go. Like, we give you all the credit in the world just for giving it a go.
It takes more courage to try than to not, you know what I'm saying? So it takes way more to put yourself out there in front of people that might not want you to succeed, but you have to. Now,
you know, as a mother, like you said, what can you tell some of the mothers out there that might be like, you know, I just don't have the time? Like, what can you tell them?
Well, I was fortunate enough to have the time, but I would say if it's your dream and if it's something you want to do, you can find a way. Like, you'll make a way, or God will make that way for you. If it's truly on your heart to do, and you know it's something that the world needs or that you need to just do yourself to grow or whatever, you'll find the way to do it. So I would just say, just keep going.
Just keep going. Got you. All right, I'm gonna step into the this or that question. So I'm gonna ask you this or that, and you can kind of just, you know, throw an answer at me and give a little description on why you picked that answer. Okay. All right. Hot or cold?
Hot.
And why is that?
I don't.
Because you're in the candle business.
Well, that, and also, I mean, weather-wise, hot, but I don't mind the cold. I'm from Rhode Island. I've been here my whole life. If I didn't like it that much, I guess I would have flew south.
Right.
But I would say hot. I don't know. Being cold is kind of...
Would you rather be loved or respected?
Respected.
And why is that?
Definitely. If love comes and goes, love is not forever, in my opinion, with anything, anyone. So I would rather be respected.
Your favorite scent, what would that be?
My favorite right now is called White Fire by Tiziana Terenzi.
So, you know.
Oh, that's a perfume. You mean like an actual like scent?
I mean, either way.
Yeah, it's like, I guess I would say that.
Okay. On that note, is there specific candles out there that are like designer candles?
Yeah. So there is actually a website where you can buy like the scents that are like inspired by your favorite perfumes. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So a lot of the scents that we have are perfumes. So the one I brought you today is kind of like a Baccarat scent.
Yeah.
So.
And now, do women like, what if you had to give a percentage out there? What percent of women can be like, oh, you know, he really did his homework with this candle and like with this scent, versus like, oh, he went to, you know, CVS or whatever and got the...
No, I think if you come in and you make one, any of the ones that you choose, they're gonna be like, he did something with that, because you can't just buy them in store.
Yeah. So I mean, I have this question on here, and I think I'm gonna erase it just because like inflation. This isn't even like really a high number at this point, but this new section is smooth or not smooth. So you just let me know. I'm gonna make a statement out there. Okay. You say smooth or not smooth. But $300 first dates.
I guess smooth. I
Okay.
mean, I don't. It's not smooth. Like if you can spend that, then it's smooth. If you can't and you're trying to like be someone you're not, then it's not smooth.
Just go to Cintiq instead.
Yeah, like go spend $40 on your girl and call it a day. But if you can do that, if that's normal for you, then that's smooth.
Mm-hmm. Surgery abs.
Not smooth.
Not smooth.
No.
Splitting rent with your significant other.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
I don't know is not smooth or not smooth. Smooth or not smooth. So there's two options.
Not smooth.
Not smooth. Okay. And why not?
Well, all right. So if you are...
Red. She is red.
So I'm in the stage right now of my life where I'm trying to be in my feminine energy at all times.
Okay.
And so I feel splitting rent or having to come through for your man, that's putting a lot of masculine energy. And I mean, that's okay if the man is not in his masculine energy, but if that's something you want as a woman trying to be in her feminine, that's not gonna work. So I'll say that's not smooth for me.
Okay. Social media.
It's smooth for business, I would say, but like if personally, I wish I could be my age now in the 90s where there was no social media. I feel like that's my whole...
Hoochie daddy shorts.
Smooth if you have your legs tatted.
Okay. Okay. So
if you don't have your legs
tattoos
tatted,
on the leg.
Unless you have really nice legs, then all right, you could get away with it.
Okay. Who are your two best friends?
Jordan, Anthony, Andrade.
Shout out to Jordan.
You know
That's
Jordan.
my guy. Yes.
And Kalina, she's my partner. We've been friends for probably 10, 11 years also. Okay. And Danielle, I have to shout her out too.
Okay. I'll go with the first two.
Okay.
If I was to walk up to the first two that you stated and ask them each the biggest thing that you need to improve on, what would each one of them say?
Kalina would say my imposter syndrome. Definitely.
That kind of goes hand in hand with being like a first-time business owner, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I struggle with that a lot. But she would definitely say that without a doubt. Jordan would probably say knowing my worth when it comes to relationships and such.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration, my parents and my son, I would say. I just want to make them proud, honestly, and just show them like I'm my own person.
What does your son think about like the candle business?
So he thinks it's a bougie place. So anytime he has to come at me, he's like, I don't want to go to that bougie store. I'm like, ugh.
So
But
were
he
you
does.
like mission accomplished? Like
Yeah, he loves it though. He comes in, he has his basketball sometimes, and he just gives everyone a show. So
oh, that's what's up.
yeah.
That's what's up. If you could move your business anywhere, if you could move your son anywhere, move your family anywhere, and money really wasn't an object, if you could live any city in the world, what city would it be and why?
Dubai. And not for the reason some girls be going out there.
So what would the reasons be?
No, I think I've been to Dubai twice, and it is honestly the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. It's very Americanized, so I didn't feel like there was like a language barrier. I was very comfortable. And it's one of the safest cities in the world. And it's just luxury. And I really enjoyed it. So I would definitely.
Is it one of the safest? That's interesting.
Yeah, and it's one of the cleanest too.
Oh wow.
There's like no trash anywhere.
Huh.
Definitely.
Good to know. Top 5 current artists that you listen to.
I'm all over the place, but I would say Giveon, Lil Baby, Burna Boy. Everything else is kind of old. I like Peasy.
That's my guy. He's in my top 5 too.
And Future.
Okay.
I guess.
If you could have lunch with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Maybe like Oprah or Michelle Obama.
Okay. And why?
I just think they represent the epitome of like Black excellence. And I love that for them and for Black women.
When it's all said and done, how would you like to be remembered?
You're asking some good questions. I would like to be remembered for just being my authentic self at all times and just moving to the beat of my own drum and not conforming to anyone's ideas of me or anyone's, thoughts of me, just being myself. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job at that. So.
All right. And in closing, if there's somebody out there, specifically a woman out there, but really if there's anyone out there who just had a massive failure or a massive setback and kind of needs an extra push or needs some words to get back on track to kind of living their fullest life, their best life, what can you kind of say to those people?
I would say that tough times don't last forever. If you want them to last, they will. But your mind has to be stronger than anything else. And I think getting your mental right and getting in touch with who you are, that's going to help. So just don't quit. Just keep going.
Keep going. Well, I appreciate you for coming by. This was an excellent episode, and I hope the viewership out there gets a lot from it. And I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.